Hey guys, we have reached the end of our Unit 3 math lessons over fractions, which means it's time for us to review a little bit and prepare for our next test. So adding and subtracting fractions is going to pop up a lot on our test. It's what we've been spending a lot of time doing. So I just wanted to go back and review the butterfly method for finding common denominators when you add and subtract fractions. So I've just got a few practice problems today for addition and subtraction, and I want you to watch this video and then you'll do a Go formative to practice on your own. When you're adding and subtracting fractions, you have to make sure that they have the same denominator, or what's called a common denominator. And so an easy strategy for us to use to do that is the butterfly method. And the reason it's called the butterfly method is because you do some circling of numbers and it kind of looks like a butterfly when you're all done. So let's look at the first one. 2/3 plus 1/2. I'm going to circle here and cross multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. I circle here. I cross multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. Now I need a common denominator. The easiest way to get a common denominator is to multiply the two denominators that you already have. And when I multiply 3 times 2, I get 6. So now I have two brand new fractions. I have 4/6 because I put it over that denominator, and I have 3/6. Now I'm just adding them together. So I kind of pretend that my butterfly is not even here, and I'm adding my 4/6 and my 2/6. When you have common denominators, you don't add the denominators. You only add the numerator, or the top number. So 4 plus 3 is 7, and the 6 stays the same. So my answer for this first problem is 7/6. Let's look at another one. 3/4 plus 2/5. They don't have the common denominator, so I have to cross multiply using the butterfly method. 5 times 3, we multiply up, is 15. 4 times 2 is 8. I have to get a common denominator, so I'll multiply the ones I already have, and that gives me a denominator of 20. So I have 15/20 on this side and 8/20 on this side. So now I'm going to add 15 plus 8, and I'm not adding the denominators, just the numerators. So 15 plus 8 more. Okay? Here I get 23/20. Now that's what's called an improper fraction, when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we want to reduce that, which means we ask ourselves, how many 20s are in 23? Well, I know that that is only 1. And then from 20 to 23, there are 3 left over. So 1 and 3/20 is my answer for that problem. Okay, let's do a couple more addition problems. I'm going to multiply 6 times 1, and that's 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Multiply my denominators. 3 times 6 is 18. Now I have 6/18 plus 3/18, and I get 19/18. Again, just like this one, the numerator was bigger than the denominator, so I need to reduce. How many 18s are in 19? There's only 1, with 1 left over. Okay. 3 times 12, 36. 4 times 1, 4. Multiply here. 12 times 4 is 48. So I have 36/48 and 4/48 that I'm going to put together. And when I do that, I get 40/48. I can simplify that, but I can also leave it as well. Now we're going to switch to subtraction. So same thing, if they don't have a common denominator, we have to get a common denominator. So I'm still cross multiplying. 3 times 5 is 15. 7 times 2 is 14. Multiply the denominators. 7 times 3 is 21. I have 15 over 21 and 14 over 21. And remember that we're subtracting now. We've switched gears. So 15 take away 14 only leaves me with 1. I have 1 over 21 as an answer for this problem. Okay. Cross multiplying again. 5 times 6 is 30. 9 times 2 is 18. Multiply the denominators, you get 45. So 30 over 45 and 18 over 45. Okay? Now, if you get some bigger problems like this, write it off to the side if you need to subtract. I'd rather you not use a calculator. You obviously can't use your fingers because you don't have enough. So just write it off to the side and do your subtraction. Okay? When you do 30 take away 18, you should get 12 over 45. Again, it could be reduced further, but for now, we're just going to leave it at that. All right, I hope you're hanging with me. We have 2 left. Cross multiply and multiply up. So 6 times 2 is 12. And 8 times 1 is 8. Multiply the denominators. 8 times 6 is 48. If you find that you need a multiplication chart, there is one in the front cover of your math journal, so you can use that as well. 48 is the new denominator. And then we're subtracting. 12 take away 8 is 4, and the denominator stays the same. All right, last one. 8 times 4 is 32. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 8 is 48. So I have 32 over 48 and 24 over 48. And again, if you need to set the problem up over on the side like this and subtract, or if you're doing this in a Go formative and you need to set it up on a scratch piece of paper or a whiteboard or something so you can subtract, don't try to do that in your head. It's just too easy to make mistakes that way. So write it down somewhere. When you do that subtraction, you should get 8 left over 48. So you could leave it as 8 over 48. If you wanted to reduce it, you would set up a division problem. Okay, so you're asking yourself, what could both of these divide by? Well, I know that I could divide 8 by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. And 48 divided by 8 is 6. So I can leave it as 8/48, or I can reduce it to 1/6. These are equivalent. They equal the same thing, so either answer would be correct. I hope this video makes the butterfly method a little bit easier to understand. You can save this video somewhere and watch it again if you need to. Just don't hesitate to reach out if you need some help solving your Go formative problems today.